Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Cerberus here, or Dark, whichever you want to call me. Again, it doesn't matter. Did an opinion a while back on the Dangerous Power Fusion Elite. I'm going to go ahead and do a review on it. I've been using it for a while and decided I thought it was due for a review. If you have any questions, hopefully this will answer it. If not, leave me a message. I'll be glad to help you. It's not a problem. I'd be glad to help. Anyways, when you buy your Fusion Elite, once again, I save my boxes. It'll come in a box just like this. Weird, huh? Second unboxing video. Ooh, stinky. It has a nice case with it. I enjoy this case. It's a nice, good, comfy case. It is a Revy case, by the way. If you've never owned a Revy, this is exactly what the Revy case would look like. And your Fusion Elite is inside of it. You will unzip it here. Fusion Elite will be on this side, on the bottom. Now, first off, let's get on this side. You'll undo this portion over here. I will go and get what's inside the pouch first. You'll have a tuning guide and a full detailed color manual and some stickers, which I've already used, because I'm a nerd. Here's your tuning guide and then a full detailed color manual. You'll have everything you need to know about your Fusion Elite. Consult it when doing certain servicing or maintaining. Barrel sleeve. Your 13-inch 689 bore barrel. It is a decent barrel to get you started. Put this to the side, right there. Fusion Elite will be at the top. Pull it out. Put it off to the side for a second. On the bottom, you will have your spare parts kit. Once again, a nice kit. We'll have lube, O-rings, extra detents, zip ties to zip tie your wires together, extra springs. It also has a guide, O-ring size chart on the back of the card. That is nice. If you're a beginner, definitely will help you. If you're an intermediate, that will also help you. Ball-ended Allen key set, which is located right here. It's very snug, doesn't move. It won't mess with your Fusion Elite. Won't scratch it. So put that right there. And we're not going to put this on the floor like we did the box. We're going to put it off the side. Your Fusion Elite only weighs 1.89 pounds with battery. It's light. Also has an operating pressure of 130 at 290 feet per second. So you do not need a super high pressure tank. I would once again recommend 550 or below, or whatever you like better. Some people I've heard that do 450. Like I said, it's one of those, to each his own thing, play with it. Now, what Dangerous Power did was take their FX and beef it up and make an entirely new marker using a lot of the features from the FX as far as its Stack 2 Poppet. I know, yes, there are other brands that have the Stack 2 Poppet. We're talking about off of the FX, all right? Just keep that thought in mind. We're talking about Dangerous Power stuff. Now, going forward, we're talking about like the clamping feed neck. It is a nice little feed neck that comes with it. Holds your hopper secure. It does have a very cool bolt. If you'll notice, the detent grooves are extended. They're a lot longer than some of the other stock bolts, and what it actually does is save the life of your detents. I have yet to replace my detents. I'm pretty sure that they'll only need to be replaced when they've dry rotted, because nothing touches them but the paintball. It also has the little uniform holes in it. It can be a little bit of a booger to clean because you'll have to use like a Q-tip or something to clean inside there if you bust a ball. Not busted many. Bad paint was one of my bad incidents with it. But it's not that hard. It's pretty easy. It is O-ringless. It is, some people complain about it. I can see maybe O-rings helping, but honestly I get good efficiency without it, so I'm not worried about it. Back cap, you will have your rammer on the inside. Now the one thing that the Fusion Elite that is cool is most Stack 2 Poppets, as you use them, the valve on the inside builds an O-ring dust around the valve. You'll need to get inside of it and clean it. If not, you'll end up with the problem real quick. The one thing that's neat about the Fusion Elite, you can take the LPR, which is actually, of all the LPRs I've ever used, this one actually has more adjustability to it than most stock LPRs. Keep that thought in mind. And as far as your smoothness, your straight shot, your very smooth shot, it is adjustable to the player. When you unscrew this off and take the back cap out, you will take a rod, normally a graphite, very gentle rod. You don't want to scratch the inside of the body. It's in your instructions, keep that in mind. And you can push the valve out, of course, after you undo the screw on the inside between the two halves. There's a screw that holds the valve in place. And you can push it out, service it, and put it back in. Also, the solenoid is completely serviceable. It's a three-way solenoid. That's another neat feature because now the longevity of this marker has been increased. This means that you can now service your own solenoid and now you can service your valve. So every season you can go inside in case you get any dirt, debris in the valve, or your solenoid is acting wonky. You can get in there and fix it and service it and actually be back up and running. You're not having to dial up and order parts. I mean, that's another cool feature about the Fusion Elite. Completely adjustable reg, of course. What marker doesn't come with that? It is it's nice. I like it. It's just like the G5 as far as taking and servicing it. You'll have two halves. You'll unscrew the top, put an Allen key in the top, put an Allen key in the bottom, and you'll separate the two halves together. A Stealth Wraps ASA. I do like the ASA. I've grown quite fond of it. It's very simple, very basic. I've not had any problems with both of my ASAs. Honestly, I would recommend anybody that has recommend this ASA to anybody. Now they come on Dangerous Power markers, but hey, I know some people take theirs off of it, but I like it. To each his own. Let's go that way. Fully adjustable trigger. It is magnetic and spring assisted. It does have springs and magnets. It's a nice trigger. It is fully adjustable. Keep that in mind. Your power button is on the bottom in the back, and then you have an up arrow. The up arrow changes your modes when you're playing. Now the bottom arrow will turn your eyes off. When you go into your settings, you will use these two in correspondence with your trigger. Your trigger will shift to the settings, and then these will add the value and then decrease the value of what you're adjusting. The board is fully adjustable. You can change anything from your bolt return. You can change so many features. That definitely turns the Fusion Elite from a people marker to a person marker. And what you're saying is, what do you mean by a person marker? It actually becomes adaptable to whatever the player wants. If he wants a smoother shot, if he wants a straighter shot, if he wants a quick return, if he wants to change and get more efficiency, the Fusion Elite can do that. That's the cool part about it. You're getting into a different realm of marker, into the higher end, and you're getting into what allows you to create this marker in your aspect and not anybody else's. When you pick this Fusion Elite up and you're holding it and you're using it, it is exclusive to you. There's anybody else that picks it up, it will be different to them. This is specified specifically for that one user that's using it. If you're saying, well, how do you know this? I know it because I've used it. Every other one that I've touched has not been anything like mine. Also, on top of it, I did like what they did on the board. On this side is your battery, but also you have a chip. It's a little white chip that goes into the board. When you remove that chip, to prove what I'm talking about, that it is for the one player and not for multiple people, you can put that chip in another Fusion Elite, fine tune it, and now that Fusion Elite, the other one you put the chip in, is now going to act like your old one. Now, if you're saying, what does that do besides make it solely to one person? This makes warranty quite interesting, because instead of you getting a new board and you're like, great, I got to go through everything again because my old one's fried and I don't remember my settings. Now you can go inside and put that chip in and it remembers all your settings. That's cool, because now that marker is back alive. It's like, hey, I'm back again. All my settings and everything, just fine tune me and let's go. So, and once again, all Fusion Elites will be different. There will not be one like somebody else's. So if you're test firing one, make sure that you realize, hey, I can adjust this to what I want it to be. Let me keep that thought in mind. Now, I like a smooth shot. If you're saying, how smooth is your shot? For a Stack 2 Pop-It, mine barely moves. Everybody that's ever shot mine says that it does not, it hardly moves. I can hold a lane, reload, I look like I'm shooting a spoolie. And then I reload and I ain't got a problem doing it. It doesn't move, it doesn't push up, and now you're saying, well, how do you do that? It takes a little bit of time, a little practice. You're going to change how your bolt returns. You're going to change your LPR. You're going to change how your board operates. But you can get a smooth shot. Now you're like, well, how about a straight shot? Yes, you can change it where you start to lose a little bit of the smoothness to get yourself in a complete tight pattern while you're shooting. That is possible with the Fusion Elite. I have gotten mine to shoot an impressive group with it using the stock barrel. I went to a Freak kit. That helps with the smoothness of my shot, because what ends up happening is with the barrel, bore match does help a little bit with grouping, so I use that to help with grouping while I made it a smoother shot. And it does, like, once again, my setup is Freak kit, SL Ninja Tank all the way, and then also Virtue Spire. You will need to increase the sensitivity of your Virtue Spire if you're using one. Make sure you have it set to 4 if you're going smooth, because it will not register if you're not careful. Once again, output pressure, since the operating pressure is 130, make sure your output pressure is under 550. It's a macroless marker. It doesn't need, and it's using a inline pressure. A gas through frame inline. It will get kind of cold on the back. If you're wondering, will that hurt anything? No. One of my tests from my video that got screwed up is I sat there and shot 1,500 rounds without stopping, and it got really cold. It doesn't bother it. It's gas through frame. I mean, with you wearing gloves, you'll never notice it how many times you shoot it. With the fully adjustable trigger and one thing I do like when you're going through your adjustments also, everything is a mark on X on one side and then a check mark on the other. So as you're going through your settings, if you're done doing your settings and you want to go out, most people are like, hey, I have to click the power off and turn it back on. No, you can actually click the trigger, put it on top of the X and hold it, and it'll put you right back out into your settings. Tournament friendly once again. Now yes, one of the features is full auto. I like playing with full auto. If you're like, oh, you're playing against other people? No. I want to see how fast this thing can shoot. It can get 25.5 balls per second. If you're saying with the Virtue Spire, I can fudge it with that. It does better with the die rotor. I'm working on H&K TFX. It won't shoot that fast, but we're going to try. We'll have fun with it. It is once again, the Fusion Elite is not a people marker. If you're somebody that's not used to really good high ends, like you're not used to a 3-way solenoid, bolt return, all these different settings, you don't have no plans on tournament, I probably would not recommend it, just because it does get complicated. If you're saying, oh, that beats me from having it, no, there's ones like, there's a G5 that's very good for very basic play people. But if you're wanting to up the ante and you stopped and said, man, I'm tired of these pneumatics, tired of these lower end markers, give me something, man, Fusion Elite comes with everything you can possibly think of. Now, the price is a little bit higher than some of its mid-priced brethren. There is, now if you're saying, is that a deal breaker? No. You got to take into consideration what Dangerous Power has done. Getting away from a people marker means it doesn't need upgrades. If you're saying, what do you mean by that? For one thing, most of the markers in that price range will need a different bolt. The Fusion Elite does not. This acts like a lot of the Hush bolt designs in the uniform, the way that the holes are all absolutely uniform, but also saves the life of your detent as the grooves have been extended. This is also a very light bolt. Keep that thought in mind. So basically you get a free upgrade bolt with your Fusion Elite. Another thing is the board. The board is 100% one user per person. Whoever grabs it will not be the same as the other person that uses it. So keep that thought in mind. The Fusion Elite will be completely modded out. It is not designed to go out and go play wreck with your buddies. It is designed to go from your shipping box up in your hand, tank, loader, out to the tournament field, wherever it may be. Tournament lock, it is ready to go out of the box for any tournament. Of course, gas it up, fine tune it to your specs. I definitely go out and go make sure you get it to where you like it. I have it right where I like it. If you want, I will do a video of the solenoid maintenance. I don't mind the valve maintenance to show you how you can take it out, service it, and put it back in, LPR, or the reg maintenance, or the RAPS ASA. I can even do a bolt, and then I can go through the board settings if you would like. That is something I can do that will help. Just let me know. But other than that, if you gave me a score, I give it a 9.5 out of 10. Easy. Not a problem. If you're saying, why don't I give it a full 10? I'm saving the full 10. Eventually, one day, I will give one a full 10. Any issues out of the Fusion Elite? No. I've not had any besides the basic O-ring break from high volumes of massive rates of fire. That is me. Don't worry about it. I don't mind putting in O-rings. All markers will end up getting new O-rings in them. But I promise you, as far as effective in use and efficiency, the Fusion Elite is very impressive. I came from a series of mid-grade that markers that I had upgraded personally, and I sold them and actually used the Fusion Elite in their place. So if that tells you, if you'd like to give the names, I can. But if that tells you how much I like the Fusion Elite and how I upgraded, that's how much I like it. I really do. It's a phenomenal marker. Definitely nice price, not too bad. And then also gives you everything you possibly need. It's one of those, you take your barrel kit that you're using on your other marker right now, or get the backs from some of the other brands, like some of the older Revies or something, and put it on and you go. You're ready to go out. I mean, it's tournament time. It's basically say, are you an elite or not? Something like that. But anyways, that's all I got on the Fusion Elite. Hopefully this will answer it. If not, hit me up and let me know. 9.5 out of 10. 9.5 out of 10. Easy. Anyways, this is Cerberus Dark, whatever you want to call me. This is my review for the Fusion Elite. Adios.